if you want to know what the establishment thinks, the program to turn to is Morning Joe on MSNBC, because that's what they do. They get the same people from the right wing who are interested in pushing pro-corporate, pro-business talking points to the detriment of the middle class. And then they get Democrats, so-called Democrats, who agree, and they all get into an agreement frenzy about how wonderful the establishment is and how the power structure should be kept just as it is, okay? And sometimes they get a little mad at the Tea Party because they're not going along with, let's say, a grand bargain that would be actually an fantastic deal for Wall Street and the top corporations and their executives. And but so then they'll be like, you see, we don't totally agree with the right wing. But it is, in fact, a massively right-wing show. And they brought on Jim Cramer, who is CNBC's main go-to guy for, doing whatever Wall Street needs him to do and sucking up to them, to come on and talk about the guy that they all love. Because the one guy that the establishment is absolutely in love with, whether it's a Republican administration or a Democratic administration, is Tim Geithner, the author of the bailouts, the guy who gave the banks all the money under both administrations. So, of course, the establishment loves him. And, oh, Jim Cramer, he can't get enough of him. Watch this sickening display.
And, look, here's I wish President Obama would just say, you know what, I got a great Treasury Secretary, and he was so far ahead of the world. Look at Europe. He did a lot, Tim Geithner, to make it so our institutions are stronger. That man does not get an ounce of credit. Maybe you guys know, why doesn't he get credit? He's one of the great Treasury Secretaries
I think you really think so?
Yes, I do.
Really?
Look at Europe. Europe is, because they didn't do what Geithner did, that's why Europe almost brought down the world. He's a tough guy, by the way.
Oh, please stop. Please stop. Oh, he's a tough guy, by the way, and he's actually incredibly handsome. God, I love Tim Geithner, the way he gave trillions away to the banks. Oh, my banking friends were so happy with him. Now, why do you think the Tea Party's never protested Tim Geithner? Why do you think the Republicans never mentioned Tim Geithner as they try to tear down every other part of this administration? Because the establishment, Wall Street, corporations, Morning Joe, Jim Cramer, they all love Tim Geithner. They've got that same man crush that Obama does on him. They're like, oh, please give the banks more money. We love it. This sickening display continues.
I think Geithner gets a bad rap because he's in the movie. He's associated, although he saved it.
He's so
with
not
08,
like that
but
in
he's
real
in
life.
the movie. He's one of those guys.
In real life, he's so down-to-earth cool.
In real life, he's so down-to-earth cool. Yeah, maybe if you're the CEO of JP Morgan or Goldman Sachs, or you're Jim Cramer, whose job is to fluff those guys nightly on CNBC, then maybe he's down-to-earth cool for you, right? The rest of us didn't love how he gave away $12 trillion of our money. And what did he get in return? Normally, if you say, hey, Bank of America or any company, I'm going to bail you out with however many trillions that he gave per company, right? Or hundreds of billions per company, overall 12 trillion, right? If you say that, you know what you get? You get the company back. They're bankrupt. Then when they make a profit, instead of it going to their CEO, it goes to the owners of the company, which would have been the U.S. taxpayers. But Tim Geithner didn't make that deal. He made the deal, no strings attached. In fact, for Goldman Sachs, I mean, this is one of a million examples I can give you. A $13 billion backdoor bailout through AIG. Even AIG was saying to Geithner, we're really going to give him 100 cents on the dollar? They made a bad bet. We shouldn't pay him 100 cents. We should at least say, hey, you know what? You got to take a 20%, 50% discount. At the very least, Geithner said, absolutely not. You're going to give Goldman Sachs every nickel, and you're going to give it from the taxpayer. And of course the banks and the establishment love Tim Geithner. He's the one leading the robbery. Morning Joe, what an unbelievably stomach-turning show that just sits there and every single day pats the establishment on the back. Oh, we're so great, we're fantastic. Who's our guy on Wall Street? Oh, let's bring in Jim Cramer. How much do you love Tim Geithner? Oh, how much do I love Tim Geithner? Oh, let's all talk about how great Tim Geithner is. What a wonderful human being he is. Man, he's handsome. And then they wonder why people get mad at him.